up, one of you creative visionary, and welcome to Soulful Saturday. It's a soulful Saturday thing. It's a soulful Saturday thing. Let me drink my waters. Don't you just like my earrings? I love my earrings too. Okay, so in this video, I want to have a conversation about learning to be self-reliant. You know what I've learned about control? We learned this at home. We don't blame our parents. We recognize that they were dealing with their own things, and this is why they have the behaviors that they had. And we learned to model this behavior with our parents, correct? Correct. We learned to model the behavior of control. We learned to model the behavior of toxic engagement. We learned to model the behavior of manipulation. We learned to model the behavior of everything, good and bad. We don't blame ourselves. We just go, that was an interesting experience growing up in a home like that. I learned some interesting things. But, some parents are something else. Truly some parents are something. Some families are so dysfunctional that they'll even want to kill you. That's just damn dysfunction. Prison. Really, honestly, people like this deserve prison. I mean, seriously, you can't go around trying to kill your own children. This is awful. This is awful. Okay. So yesterday we were talking about how does control show up in your life? How do you control other people based on what you saw being modeled at home, right? You saw this behavior being modeled at home of control from your dad, and maybe your mom was a little bit manipulative because that's the only way she knew how to get her needs met. Yeah, but you know what? She should have known better. How many times do we make mistakes and say to ourselves, well, I should have known better? I am not condoning bad behavior from my parents, but I've had to look at myself and say, wow, I should have known better. Okay, it doesn't mean that if you're estranged, you need to go back and connect with your parents and reconcile with your family, especially if they were trying to kill you or they're abusive or crazy. No, absolutely not. However, I've just had to look at myself and say, yeah, I've been controlling a bit, and they told me who died and made me God. And I said, thank you for letting me know. Now, peace out, gone. But there were some controlling tendencies there, right? So once you start looking at how do I try to control other people? Now, let me try and stop controlling other people and start surrendering to the life that is trying to unfold as my life. Surrendering to the joy that I truly want to experience here on planet Earth. Surrendering to the peace that I truly want to experience. Surrendering to the creativity, to the love, to the whatever sense of adventure that I want to experience here on planet Earth. You're going to learn how to stop having patterns of relating that make you seek assurance and validation from other people, which is a form of control. If I can give you this, if I can buy you this, if I can tolerate your toxic behavior, that means you're going to validate me. That's a form of manipulation and a form of control. But how do you know how not to do this if this is all you know? You can't really blame yourself. Honestly, you can't. The thing is, unless you are willing to look at the way you think. This is why I ask a lot of questions. How does control show up in your life? When you can start to say, oh, now I'm being controlling. Okay, so if I'm being controlling, what is it that I really need? I need a sense of reassurance. I need a sense of validation. That's what I'm really seeking here. It's not that I really want to control that person. I just need a sense of validation. I need a sense of reassurance. Okay, so what is underneath that? Anxious attachment. I need to feel connected. I need to feel like I'm loved and that I belong. Aha. So maybe you have an anxious style of attachment, or an anxious style of relating. Aha. Okay. If you don't know what anxious attachment is, please Google it. Googles. It means you are afraid of being rejected. It means you have a high fear of rejection and abandonment. We all have this. Because we had trauma from childhood. When your mother dropped you off in kindergarten, maybe, you just felt that she would never come back, and that was a form of trauma that happened. You don't even know where these traumas start and how long they are and how long they're going to last and what is really going on in this life experience. We don't know. This is why I'm all for therapy. Therapy is the way forward. And if you don't want to go to therapy because you're afraid that people are going to think you're crazy, I got you, boo. FutureGen, www.futuregenleaders.com/detox. It's okay to say, I didn't really like the fact that my mother was in and out of my life. I don't like the fact that my mother dropped me off at primary school or kindergarten, and she didn't come back for 8 hours, and I was sitting there with that nasty kindergarten teacher who was pinching me. I don't like that. The more I sit with myself and meditate and think about my life experience, more memories from childhood are coming up. I'm even remembering some of the teachers that were like pinching me in kindergarten. And I'm like, I didn't really like that. I would have preferred for my mom to be a mom that stays home and takes care of her children. But no, she had a right to go and pursue her career. Our mothers have a right to go and pursue their careers. And you have a right to not go and visit them when they get old. If they dropped you off at kindergarten and they left you there to go pursue their careers, you're allowed to go and pursue your things and not visit them when they get old. But now they want to play with you and spend time with you because now they're tired of doing what they were doing. You have a right to leave them there and go pursue your own life. Yeah, we all have a right because you're a sovereign being. You came through your mother's womb alone. You are probably going to die alone and go and face your maker alone. You're not going to take your mother and your siblings and your father when you die to go face God and say, God, okay, now let's talk about what I did on planet Earth. No. And even if you don't believe in God, okay, well, if you don't believe in God, you don't believe that you're going to hell. Most of the people that tell me, I don't believe in hell, they are in hell. They're telling me about their troubles and their problems and they're crying. I'm like, you are in a version of hell. You understand that? Because honestly, when you're in a version of heaven, some version, even if it's the lowest level of heaven, you're not busy running around telling people your sad stories. When I'm in hell, I am going around telling everybody my sad stories. I'm miserable and depressed, and that's okay. We're allowed to, be in a state of hell where you're angry, you're depressed, you're just rageful, and then you're allowed to be in a state where you're just peaceful and you're just enjoying your life. Okay, so anxious attachment means that you are truly afraid of being abandoned. And if you were controlled, and there was a lot of control growing up, there is this sense of control is love. It's dysfunctional. It doesn't make sense. But it's kind of like, if I'm not being controlled, maybe they don't love me. So then now you move away from this control, and now the anxiety will show up. Because for so long in your life, you lived under control. This is why you could leave a dysfunctional home, a narcissistic home, and get yourself involved in a narcissistic relationship, intimate relationship, because all you know is control. All you know is being dominated. I know I did it. I left home and I got myself involved in a relationship with a Zulu man who tried to kill me. Because all I knew was being controlled and beaten by my dad. So then when I got into a proper relationship, serious kind of relationship, I got myself involved with a man who is exactly as controlling and is exactly as abusive and kind of crazy. And he tried to kill me, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to be controlled. I'm not a kind of woman who will ever be controlled. It doesn't work for me. Try to control me and you're going to learn a very difficult lesson. You're going to learn a very difficult lesson. I will never be controlled. I only bow to God. No man on planet Earth with breath in their nostril or woman with breath in their nostrils will ever control me. God will always provide for me. God will always protect me. God will always have my back because God breathes me. So nobody here on planet Earth can control me. Because I learned it the hard way. Okay, so if you're coming out of a narcissistic home and you're like, I don't want to be controlled anymore, you gotta take a step back and say to yourself, okay, if I don't actually work on this, I'm going to go into another relationship where I'm being controlled. It's unconscious. It's not your fault. It's how it works because it's a pattern. It's a pattern. And then, okay, let's say maybe you're lucky and you don't get into a relationship where you are controlled. You're going to start being controlling. And then people are just going to run away from you. Okay? Now you're going to have to deal with the anxious attachment style of relating. Because inherently, all of us want to experience loving and belonging. We all want to experience loving and belonging. We all want to experience loving and belonging. If you don't actually ask yourself questions, you're going to stay in dysfunctional, loving and belonging somewhat relationships and dynamics. I choose not to. Honestly, I choose not to. But I'm a different kind of breed. I'm a different kind of bird. I won't tolerate toxicity just for loving and belonging. This is my last lifetime on planet Earth. I don't want to engage with toxicity just for the sake of loving and belonging. But you might want to. So my thing to you is, if you need reassurance, and that means you need to go into a toxic relationship or stay as long as you can in a toxic relationship to try to fix this person, maybe you should invest time in looking at your own thoughts and the way you think and make decisions, your sense of control, your need for reassurance and validation. And the more you spend time just excavating that, the more you spend time just being inquisitive, curious about how you work. How do I work? What makes me happy? When do I want to try to control other people? And what is it inside of me that makes me want to control other people? If I control other people, then I have people around me, then I feel valuable and worthy as a person. But let me look at the people that are around me. Okay? But this does not work. I'm always in tears. I'm always in pain. Okay. Maybe I should stop trying to control people and try to understand who I really am. This is not for everybody. Honestly, this is not for everybody. Not everybody can live an estranged life. I think it's really for the scapegoats. Which I'm actually starting to realize that there's more and more and more scapegoats of their family. The more I speak on this, it's kind of like the universe is just bringing them to me. And I don't even think they're coming from my YouTube channel. I don't really think so because I haven't grown that big yet. But I'm just like, it's like I meet these people when I'm out and they just tell me stuff. And I'm just like, the universe is saying to me, confirmation, keep moving forward. Confirmation, keep moving forward. We are traumatized here on planet Earth and we all need reassurance. So my question to you in our dialogue, let's have dialogue. how can you reassure yourself? I just told you, right? And I said, I'm willing to stand by myself. One with God is a majority. One with God is a majority. Because I don't want to control anybody. I want to look at myself. I want to really observe myself. Okay, what do I do when I'm controlling? I do this, this, and this, and this. Okay, what is underneath that control? Reassurance. Okay. What if I started exploring this reassurance and seeing what's really underneath this reassurance? Anxious style of attachment and relating. But Tembi, do you really have an anxious style of attachment and relating? No, not really. You've really loved being by yourself all your life. But maybe you do need this a little, you do have some of this a little bit. Okay, let's explore that. And then what happened is the universe just started, like, I swear to you, every time I go out, I went out to go shopping. Yeah, I went to go shopping. And I love having conversations with people out when I'm out on the streets. And I was at grocery store, and this woman was just having a conversation with me. She said, oh, I love your eyelashes and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm so lonely. And I said, oh, yes, you know, I can't go back to Israel. And, you know, I said, oh. So the universe gave me confirmation that I was on the right track. I was heading on the right path. Right path. So what do you do? Let's go back to the question from yesterday. What do you do to control others? Okay. Or how do your controlling behavior show up? Okay. So now let's go to today's question. What is underneath that control? I can tell you what is underneath it. It's loving and belonging. But okay. So when did you feel not loved? Don't answer this question on YouTube, because then people will know your psyche. I'm just showing you how I work through the mind. So when did you feel unloved by your family or people who supposedly were supposed to be your family, your caregivers, your siblings, your loved ones? Oh, I was 8 years old, or I was 10 years old, and they said this and this, and they didn't support me on my goals or my dreams. Okay. So now you are this age, hopefully you're an adult, or even if you're a teenager, you can still support yourself and reassure yourself. Okay. So now I'm at this age. How can I reassure myself that whatever I am seeking to experience in my life, whether it be my dreams coming true, my career goals coming true, my relationship goals coming true, my financial goals coming true, my spiritual growth, my physical health, how can I reassure myself that I can actually achieve that? Well, I don't know if I can achieve that. Well, can I put it out into the universe and say, universe, please show me a sign? I put it out into the universe, and I went literally grocery shopping, and I just started, and this woman just came to me and just told me about this, and I said, reassurance. Reassurance. Last week I was talking about why people go to psychics, and I said, let's not judge each other about the psychic thing, right? But I said, why do people go to psychics? Self-doubt. So what I did was just put out the intention into the universe, and I said, reassurance that I'm moving in the right direction with this estrangement thing. Reassurance that there are a lot of people who are estranged. They might not be fully no contact with their family. They might not be fully estranged. But a lot of us, I swear to you, a lot of human beings need healing. Whether they are in these toxic families or not, whether they are in toxic relationships, intimate relationships or not, whether they are in toxic friendships or not, we all need healing. We all need healing. We all need to learn how to stand sovereign. So my question to you in the dialogue section is, how can you reassure yourself on a daily basis that your life will turn out for your highest good, not what you want. What I've noticed with this thing of what I want, I knew what my purpose was when I got to America. Honestly, I did know what my purpose was when I got to America. And then I just got involved with the Matrix and I ended up on Wall Street and this and this and this and this and this. But that was a part of my journey. It was a part of my journey to being where I am now. But honestly, the way I thought it's going to turn out and how my purpose was going to fully unfold is polar, is so different. So how can I reassure myself that I will reach my purpose, I will fulfill my purpose, or I will reach my goals, I'll achieve my goals in the highest, for my highest good? Yeah, that's the question. Let's rephrase the question. How can I reassure myself on a daily basis that I will fulfill my purpose, live out my mission at the highest level of consciousness? That would be actually a better. Yeah. Instead of saying, I want to achieve this, this, and this, and this, and this might, whatever you achieve, might end you up in prison. Whatever you achieve might give you the biggest hell of your life. I have met a lot of women who are like, I wanted this, this, and this, and this, and this. I've met a lot of men who are like, I want to be a billionaire and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I'm just like, what if that is going to be your downfall? I myself have wanted this, this, and this, and this, and this. It turned out to be the biggest nightmare of my life. So I'm always going, how can this be for my highest good? How can achieving this goal be for my highest good and the highest good of all involved? All involved. How can it be for the highest good of all involved? Now I'm saying, so a reassurance. We all need reassurance. I think that is why we even watch YouTubes. So in the comments below, let's have this question. I know some of my questions are like, what the hell? But if you just stopped and thought about it, for a bit, how can I reassure myself every single day? Where my feet touch, the earth is blessed. As I'm walking here on planet Earth, I don't sink into the ground. Mother Earth supports me. Okay, that's number one, reassurance. But like, how can I truly reassure myself? Soul truths. Maybe you call them affirmations. I can affirm that all of my dreams I can fulfill. Nobody's here to fulfill your dreams for you. You are here to fulfill your own dreams. Whether it's a dream for healing and coming to a state of peace, whether it's a dream for getting out of a narcissistic relationship and healing, whether it's a dream to get a degree, do whatever you want to do. Travel the world. It's your dream. It's your dream. But how can you reassure yourself that it will come to pass for your highest good and the highest good of all that are involved in this process? I've noticed that if you actually ask yourself this question, if you are in a narcissistic relationship, you're going to get out. It might take you some time, but you're going to get out. Because I asked myself that question when I was in a toxic relationship. And it was like, I don't know, 6 months later, I was out of that relationship and I was out. I was out of that relationship. I swear to you, I was out. Because just asking myself that question. No, actually, I didn't ask myself that question first. I went to the bookstore and I bought a book on self-hypnosis. And after I did those self-hypnosis scripts, I could ask myself better questions and I was out of that relationship and I was now living my life. How can I reassure myself without trying to control anybody on the outside? How can I give myself the reassurance that I can do it? This is a question for you, not for me. How? So in the comments below, let's have dialogue. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in Salacious. Yes, 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 yes.